And I want to talk about the University of Michigan because they are keeping up their tradition unlike any other, where they get in trouble during the off season and try to bait yours truly into doubting them. Happened in 2021, ain't going to happen in 2022, ain't going to happen in 2023, ain't going to happen in 2024. Okay? They saw Matt Weiss get booted from the program, just speed that one up. They've seen the offensive and defensive coordinator change over because, hey, sure, they have had the head coach suspended for 6 games, the offensive coordinator suspended for a game, and still run the table 50-0, win a national championship. Now, Sherrone Moore in year 1 has had 2 back-to-back whammies. I mean, and the whammy would put on him. On Monday night, we got news that Denard Robinson, yes, Shoelace himself, the last man to grace the cover of NCAA, the video game, right? The one we all still play because that new one ain't coming out yet and they need to speed that up, EA. Put that game out. Got pinched for the Michigan equivalent of DUI. I think it's called OWI. I don't understand why y'all need to have different nomenclature than us, but it's the same thing. It's driving under the influence. And because of this, Sherrone put out a statement saying, hey, I've just learned what Denard did, and he is indefinitely suspended till, they figure something out, which means that he's just going to be indefinitely suspended. He's on the staff. That's the reason this is a terrible look. It's also a terrible look because Denard Robinson is one of the names that we still know from Michigan, and it was kind of cool to see him around. The following day, which is today, the NCAA decided to hand out its punishment, the University of Michigan. NCAA revealed it is punishing Michigan for recruiting violations and then lying about those violations in the form of show cause for 1 year to a few assistants, right? And guys that are already on the staff, and a couple of level 2 violations that we'll figure out exactly what the extent of those are. Sherrone Moore may be one of those guys that is implicated in this. The thought here is that because Sherrone Moore sat out his 1 game, Jim Harbaugh sat out the 3 games for this, that anything else that's coming should be in the form of what's on probation because they get 3 years probation. So you got a national champion who's on 3 years probation after running the table going 15-0 in what is, shall we say, a controversial year. My superficial thought on this, not super as in power, is the NCAA just doesn't understand what we care about and what we don't. Like, I'll put it this way. I don't give a damn that Michigan violated these recruiting rules. Cheeseburgers? Food? No, I don't care. And you know what? Neither do you. You don't care. Even if you were an Ohio State fan, you don't really care. What you care about is cheating on the football field. And that is where the NCAA just ain't got no purview, right? They can't do nothing about that. So what are they doing? They are holding a grudge against a man who has since left the job and been changed to the NFL to coach the Los Angeles Chargers because he chose to lie to them and tell them what wasn't true. All right, cool. To do this in April, on the first day of the transfer portal period, to announce probation feels like a tactic, feels rather unfair and calculated because perhaps with the bad news coming to Michigan, you're going to influence some of these Michigan players on the roster into making some decisions that they might otherwise regret. I think that's ridiculous. I would have at least wanted this to come out after the fact, like after the portal closes, or maybe before the portal closes, just depending on what the timing is. But the timing here just feels weird and ridiculous, especially knowing that we're going to have the NFL draft just over a week away. Like, this is just wild. And then you got Jim Harbaugh's attorney, Tom Mars, who's from around the way in Rogers, Arkansas, putting out these things going, hey, look, we tried to talk about this. We tried to get some resolution on this, and the NCAA just doesn't want to do, which is saying a lot because Tom Mars used to run their enforcement arm at the NCAA, and Tom Mars also represents every major college football coach you care about. I mean, he the dude that got John Calipari from Kentucky to Arkansas. I'm going to listen when he got something to say, especially to the NCAA, because you ain't got no subpoena power. Because you ain't got no subpoena power, you got your own members fighting you. So nobody likes you. So you still do this. I can't get with this. I don't agree with continuing to punish Michigan for what happened in 2023 because it's not going to affect 2024. Not really. If they suck, that's going to be on them. It's got nothing to do with the NCAA, who seems like they just want to insert themselves into a discussion about college football that no longer concerns them, and that is the bigger deal. We don't care what the NCAA thinks about college football. We need to sort that out.
If you like what you've seen, consider subscribing to the #1 college football show on YouTube, the Fox Sports app, or wherever you get your podcast.